Ah, yes. Welcome to historic Quebec City. Ce soir, les femmes. Tonight, the women take the ice, including Canada's champion, America's champion in waiting, and Japan's new star. And later, Le Danse, a team from Canada training in France, who tonight will challenge a talented tandem from Ukraine at the Colisée.
On s'en va au Colisée, les compétitions commencent maintenant.
Suivez-nous.
Yes, the first sign of winter, the skating season is upon us. Bienvenue à Quebec, the MasterCard Skate Canada International. It is night 2. Welcome to Le Colisée, everyone. I'm Rod Black. Big night of skating, Friday night skating here on TSN. We have 90 minutes for you coming up. We have the women, we have the dance, and then later, take your remote and flick over to CTV down the dial because we have the Paris Free Skate. 3 Canadian teams in the mix. Debbie Wilkes is backstage. Dave Randorf is covering football tonight. Tracy Wilson is alongside. And to borrow a football phrase, if you will, Trace, for ice dance, it's been third and long this last summer, a sport that had to clean itself up or it was forced to get the boot.
Well, yes, the ice dance had all the attention going into the Olympics. Unfortunately for the sport coming out, the whole sport has been tarnished. But good news is they're revamping the judges system. But, you know, it's been very difficult for the skaters because while all this is going on about the judges and the FBI investigation, they're trying to just focus ahead on the season that we're into. Let's take this opportunity now to take a look at who's in, who's not, and who's hot. So looking at the Olympic podium, the French and the Italians, first and third, have moved on. The world champions from Russia, Lobacheva and Averbuch, they're competing this year. Shaylin-born Victor Kratz were supposed to be at Skate Canada. They're out due to injury, but the good news is they got back on the ice yesterday to resume training. The Israelis, third in the world, were just beaten by an up-and-coming, exciting American team, Belbin and Augusto.
This is a time of year we love as skating fans, as announcers, because there are so many changes in choreography and costume, and sometimes a completely different change in another direction, and that's what Marie-France Debray and Patrice Lauzon have undergone over the last few months.
They have indeed. They've moved to France. They want to move on up the world ranking. So far, so good. They finished in second place in the compulsory dance behind Grashina and Goncharov of Ukraine.
Denkova Stavisky in third, Pichet and Denis in 10th. On TSN tonight, we're going to show you the Canadian teams, beginning with Pichet and Denis, then the Ukrainians, the Bulgarians, the Italians, and for dramatic effect in the OD, the Canadians. Debray Lauzon will skate last tonight. This is a team that has no chance to make it to the podium here, but this is nonetheless a very special competition for José Pichet and Pascal Denis, longtime dancers on the Canadian scene. First time they get a chance to skate on province ice at a major event, and the first time that their family and friends get to watch them live.
The original dance this year is Memories of a Grand Ball. José and Pascal are skating to Selections by Strauss. Skaters must include any 2 or 3 of the following: a waltz, a polka, a march, or a galop. One of the required elements that they just completed was the spin. They must do 2 lifts, 1 spin, and 2 different step sequences. Required elements, straight line sequence. Watch the unison and how this piece builds to the music. Audience feeding off their energy and their well-timed footwork.
As they would say here in Quebec, magnifique. What a nice start for Piché and Denis on home ice at the 2002 MasterCard Skate Canada International. Canada never been able to advance to the World Championships. Crowd does not like the Marks. They are not yet an elite team by any stretch. But it's so nice to see when they get to skate on home ice and the response.
This is a couple who have been together for 16 years. They skate because they love to skate. And as you said, Rod, there's no better time to perform than when you're on home ice.
The Ukrainian champions, 6th ranked in the world, 9th at the Olympic Games, and one of the teams to beat here. Elena Grishina, Ruslan Goncharov.
They will open with Blue Danube. Elena and Ruslan are now training with Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz, coached by Tatiana Tarasova. She has really settled them down. They're much smoother this year and more musical. Program is quite intricate in its choreography early in the season, so they're lacking the speed that they will hope to have by the end of the season. Elena Grushina, Ruslan Goncharov off a big win at Skate America last week. As I said, an intricate program. I thought they got a little tight as the performance evolved. Started digging in a little bit with their toe pick.
The team right now that Dubray and Lauzon look at climb the ladder. Canadians still to skate from Quebec City tonight on TSN. System in place right now is the interim system, featuring 10 marks, randomly chosen. 7 will be used. Of course, everyone talking about a future judging system down the road, which will reward skaters for merits instead of demerits taking away. So the presentation marks the range 5'4" to 5'8". Currently in first place, Grushina Goncharov of Ukraine.
Sont en première place dans cette partie de la compétition et ils sont en première place dans les résultats généraux. Les prochains patineurs reprennent la Bulgarie.
Albina Denkova, Maxim Stavisky.
Here are the Bulgarians, Albina Denkova, Maxim Stavisky. One of the higher ranked teams in the world. 5th ranked. Finished 7th at the Olympics. And a team that Marie-France Dubray and Patrice Lauzon currently hold a lead over after the compulsories.
Chosen from the 18th century, depicting dancing at the King's Palace. Very strong technical team, but they've really captured the character of this dance with elegant arms, refined movement. They usually have a modern edge to their skating, and this program shows their versatility. Look at the flow, how they cover the ice.
Slight stumble at the end from Maxime. Whether that will affect their mark, left to be determined.
That's something that's quite common at this time of the season with these skaters testing their programs. This is the first time that Albina and Maxime have done this routine in competition.
They moved up in a big way in the world last year. 5 spots from one season to the next. They move up 5 this year, they'd be world champions. At the Worlds last spring was the Lithuanians and the Israelis. Albina Denkova was the skater that handed the petition to the ISU from the other skaters in a protest to the awarding of the bronze medal to the Israeli team. Nothing really happened because of it, but a lot of skaters were proud of what she did in Nagano.
Well, she stood up for another team when being ranked 5th. She had everything to lose by doing it. A well-skated program.
To look at some of the up-and-comers like the team on the ice right now, Ukraine leads, Bulgaria second, Dubreuil-Lazan still to skate. And on the ice, following in the skate steps of Barbara Fusar-Poli and Maurizio Margalio, the Italian champions here, are Frederica Faella and Massimo Scali of Italy. Only their second competitive season together, a team that already went to the Olympics and the Worlds.
They finished 16th at the World Championships, a well-matched team. Both are equally good skaters and performers. They use a lilting action in their knees to get the rhythm of the dance across. Their choreography is slightly more basic than the two teams we've just seen, but I like the way they float across the ice in their ice coverage.
I remember watching Fusar-Poli and Margalio a few years ago, and they did not have as much talent at that time as this team did. And look what that Italian team did.
Well, this team has tons of talent. Fusar-Poli and Margalio were great personalities on the ice. These two are equally strong skaters. I like the energy in the dance, but they kept the sophistication of the waltz while they performed.
If they develop like the Italian champions, look out. Canadian champions from a couple of years ago still to skate. Dubreuil-Lazan in Quebec City. 16th or 18th at their first international competitions of the Worlds and Olympics. Those are pretty good numbers. You'd expect this team, if they continue their path, they could be a top 10 team pretty shortly.
Yes, they could. The bit of a stumble there, that's a 0.1 deduction. I think if they made a mistake in this program, they pushed it out a little too hard. And again, it's early in the season. This is where they're testing these programs. But I thought their character was good. I like the way they skate. This was their straight line footwork. Slightly out of sync, you can see. But quite busy with the footwork and turning in different directions. In the compulsory dance, they finished ahead of the 11th ranked team in the world. So they're in for an exciting year.
We have seen some flip-flopping in world rankings the last 2 weeks, Skate America and here. this new, again, it's not the new system, it's the interim system. We have seen more movement in dance than any of the other disciplines, really, with the range of marks, and that's good news for ice dance.
Well, this is something that the sport has needed for a long time. Currently in 4th place here, they pushed it to the edge, made a few mistakes because of it.
And the ordinal breakdown, 3s and 4s for Italy's Failla and Scali. Canada's own, Quebec's own, Marie-France Dubreuil, Patrice Lauzon, and this building ready to welcome the heroes of ice dance in this province. A little ice cleaning right now for Dubreuil and Lauzon, and the quote of the week for them is, "Nothing is the same." And that might be a very prophetic quote as they head towards another World Championships. This is a team that has been unable to move into the top 10 the last few years. Been kind of flatlined around the number 10 mark. Now they train in France. They've had huge upheaval in their life, and they hope that all of the changes work towards their ultimate goal.
They will skate to At the Ball and then Furioso Focal. There, they've got to get it back together. Difficult twizzle, finishing on 1 foot. On at the end.
Crowd rises at Le Colisée. What'd you think?
They've performed their hearts out, and this is a piece that will only get better. As you can see, the audience instantly came to their feet. The way that they phrased the choreography with the music, the way the music built to the end of the program, this is a program they can run with.
Almost a frantic dance, very complicated choreography. Like you say, it's in its early stages. We'll get better with more miles. But if you ever thought that you could just go out there and have a pristine dance in ice dancing, or you didn't have to be in shape, think again. They are in tremendous shape.
Yes, they are. And you talked about how they said everything had changed. They broke down their technique one of their nice moments, one of the lifts. It timed beautifully to the music. But what happens is when you go back to your basic technique and break it apart, you have to think through your skating, and that's what they had to do a little bit here. Their circular sequence, it is unforgiving, the choreography in this program. If they're off slightly, it's very difficult to recover. Here's a straight line. Quick feet, the music going so fast. They got a little bit too close there, banged into each other. That stumble will cost them a 0.1, but I liked the way they got back together so quickly. And watch how they finish on one foot. Makes the twizzle that much more difficult.
Is it my imagination, or are they quicker? And everybody talks about the speed of the great skaters and great dancers in the world.
Yes, they are faster, and they're doing more difficult choreography this year. It does need some fine-tuning, though.
Range of marks for composition. Again, they were in second place after compulsories. And this will set them for the free dance on Sunday. Presentation marks will probably be better. They are 5'3" to 5'7", and Marie-France Dubreuil, Patrice Lauzon of Canada remain in second place behind the Ukrainians and ahead of the Bulgarians. One first place ordinal, some seconds and some thirds for Dubreuil and Lauzon. So the free dance is set. Dubreuil Lauzon already making a move ahead of the Bulgarians if you think of the world order. And that would be a big move early in the season if they can knock off the Bulgarians. And with the new judging system, this interim system right now, maybe they can also knock off the Ukrainians on Sunday. We will see. So after the original dance, Krishina Goncharov in first, and Pichet and Denis moving up a spot to ninth. That's good news, but what a nice reception the hometown kids got here tonight.
With me, the very warm but very happy Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon. After all these changes this year, was the skate what you wanted?
Well, it wasn't perfect, for sure. I mean, our goal is to be perfect in March for World Championship. But we feel very confident because now we have a lot more technique to our programs than before. Before we skated more freely, but that leaves a lot of space for errors.
Was it?
Oh, sorry.
Was it tough coming into this wonderful crowd and knowing that there was so much support for you?
It was tough because we have so many people that came to see us and so much support from everybody, and everybody has expectation from us. But it was so great tonight. It was, I can remember having so much fun on the ice. The crowd was amazing all the way through. At some point, we couldn't even hear the music anymore, so it was really great.
They'll all be behind you for the free dance, too. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, wait till Sunday. Still ahead tonight, women's short program, international field. The MasterCard Skate Canada International will continue.